You know how the first 2 episodes of the show kind of sucked? Forget about all that. Things are about to get good. Mrs. Rogers' Neighborhood isn't the best Real Ghostbusters episode, but it has a lot of what I remember making the show great. Mystery, tension, and surprisingly good cinematography for a 1980s kids show. All the stuff that drove me to rediscover it 25 years later. We start out at the firehouse. The team hasn't had a call in days and they're bored to tears.
Brothers, I think the problem is we're too good. We already bagged every ghost in town.
Even Egon is building card houses.
I agree. We may have put ourselves right out of business.
But finally, a call comes in. A haunted house.
That's it? Sure doesn't look haunted.
What a surprise.
The place kind of looks like an innocent cottage, but whatever is inside is so powerful it overloads Egon's PKE meter. And then we get the first great shot of the episode. The slow turning of an out-of-focus doorknob. It looks awesome. The dramatic reveal just turns out to be an old lady, but it's a great shot, building tension for the fake out and hyping the viewer for whatever comes next.
Don't forget to wipe your feet, guys.
Something weird is definitely going on in the house, but the Ghostbusters keep missing it. Walking into a room too late or looking the wrong way, but voices put the team on edge.
Who said what?
What?
Did you say what?
Peter, I'm trying to work.
Say what?
I didn't say what.
Who did?
Did what?
Say what?
Man, I didn't say a word.
Then who did?
Turns out, Egon, Winston, and Peter said the keyword.
According to Tobin's spirit guide, Watt is a dominant force of the underworld. Watt's goal is to invade and conquer the living world.
There's a B story too. Back at the firehouse, Janine is giving the old lady a tour of the facility, and things start to get a little weird. At first, the old lady's bird just starts acting strange, but then when Janine turns her back, the old bag herself turns into a carnivorous monster. Janine goes on completely unaware that she's playing host to a ghost, but back at the house, the boys start to figure it out. The PKE meter starts going nuts at the old lady's wardrobe.
Mrs. Rogers' dress is what?
No, Ray. Mrs. Rogers is what?
The house starts going crazy as they figure it out, and in comes this episode's weird pop music action sequence. Eventually it dawns on Egon that the haunted house is a fake, a trap designed to catch the Ghostbusters themselves. When they go back to the firehouse to confront Mrs. Rogers, she even catches one of them, possessing Peter's body to try and open the containment unit. It gets pretty intense. Peter tries to shrug off the possession, but can't do it, and the Ghostbusters can't blast Mrs. Rogers out because they'll fry Peter's body. It takes Egon's technobabble to save the day. Egghead figures out he can tune one of the proton packs to the ghost frequencies and another to Peter's, somehow canceling out the beam's death ray properties. With the problem solved, the episode goes out on a Peter and Slimer gag, but are the Ghostbusters' problems really solved? Not really. In the beginning of the episode, the team was bored to tears for lack of work, not taking in any money in days, and the one job they do get is a ruse. By all accounts, the team is still in the red. These guys are broke. The episode also plays itself as a generic good and evil storyline, but I feel like it kind of glosses over the moral quandary of the franchise. We'll probably return to this idea more than a few times during the series, but think about it. The Ghostbusters are paranormal scientists who have not only proven that life goes on after death, but they've taken it upon themselves to be police, judge, jury, and jailer for the deceased. All you have to do to spend eternity in their ectoplasmic prism is slightly annoy a living person with a telephone. That's it. The idea that a powerful ghost would want to free its peers from the tyranny of the Ghostbusters sounds pretty reasonable. Are the Ghostbusters really the hero of the story? Maybe not. To be fair to the franchise, the team usually only busts ghosts that are causing problems, and the series doesn't really say much about the fate of the average non-mischievous paranormal entity. The closest we get is Slimer, who for some reason gets a pass. For now, we're just going to let that be, but I reserve the right to come back to this and examine the moral implications of ghost busting in more detail later on. Let's just appreciate Mrs. Rogers' Neighborhood for what it is, the first truly good Real Ghostbusters episode. Will the next episode keep pace? That depends. How much do you like Slimer?